Dear sirs, did our intelligence agencies fail to see this? I am smelling a rat. This video is an appeal to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, respected Defence Minister, respected Home Minister, respected External Affairs Minister, respected Finance Minister, and respected NSA Mr. Ajit Doval. Please watch Kerala closer. It is a Pandora box to explore. Namaste viewers, I am Raghunath, an Indian Air Force veteran, a true nationalist, and a political enthusiast. Let me start with Lord Macaulay's address to the British Parliament on 2nd February 1835. He said, I have travelled across the length and breadth of India, and I have not seen one person who is a beggar or who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country, such high moral values, people of such caliber, that I do not think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage. And therefore, I propose that we replace her old and ancient education system, her culture. For if the Indians think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation. Sir, the theory is still active. Is Sabrimala issue a conspiracy by the West, China and the Pakistan? You may get a clue by joining the below dots. Dot number 1, religious intolerance. In 1950, the temple was broke open by somebody. The deity's head was chopped and the hands were cut, and they put the temple on fire. The inquiry report is still not out. It is concealed. Nilakil is one of the 18 hills on the Sabrimala. In 1983, they planted a cross in Nilakil, and they claimed it was placed by Saint Thomas in AD 52. The intention was very clear. They wanted to grab the ownership of the entire region and the temple. My third point is, first time in the preceding years of 2000, a Hindu won the contract for Aravana preparation at Sabrimala. Now let me tell you, Aravana is the main prasada. It's a kind of, we can say it is something like a sweet pudding. It is prepared by rice being cooked in pure jaggery at a very high temperature for a very long duration. And in the year 2000, they found a rodent tail and beady butts in the Aravana. And I would say, leave the rat tail, even a cat cannot come out once it is put in or once it jumps in while the cooking process is on at such a high temperature for such a long duration, it gets cooked and dissolved. So that means it is very clear that the rodent tail and the beady butts were added to the prasada after the preparation. It was an attempt at sabotage. And sir, in 2011 stampede, the report is not yet out. And we all strongly believe that it was a created stampede that killed more than 100 people. And year after year, they come out with many other propagandas against the faith and to split the people. Now let me take you to the dot number 2. Dot number 2 is the political intolerance. See, the communists, they made a conscious effort to get a Supreme Court verdict against the faith, the current verdict. They have done it deliberately. 4 different contradictory affidavits were submitted to the Supreme Court. And they have amended the Devasam Board Act several times. One of the amendment was, Devasam Board they brought under government control. In another amendment, they have removed Prayar Gopalakrishnan, then Devasam Board President, who stood strong and firm to protect the faith when the government was against it. So they reduced his term by an amendment and threw him out. Another incident is, that's too recent. They have made an amendment allowing non-Hindus to be appointed in the Devasam Board, in the senior positions. And also, let us note that though being a respondent in the case, the government supported the petitioners. I say the communist government supported the petitioners. And they have several other anti-faith activities happening in the state. When the beef was banned in some of the states, not in Kerala, they conducted a beef festival all across the state. And that too in the close vicinity of the temples and temple premises, they have conducted beef festival. And we are living in such a big crime happening on us. Sri Narayana Guru was the most accepted social reformer of the state. He is being followed and believed by millions of people in the state. And these people have publicly crucified, a virtual crucifixion of Sri Narayana Guru, to insult all the followers of Sri Narayana Guru. They have captured many temples and damaged the customs in those temples. And they also make regular dirty, provocative comments. It comes even from the ministers and the senior leaders. One of the female member of parliament of today made a statement that sometimes before the women used to take a dip in the temple pond and visit a temple in their wet clothes so that they can expose their curves to seduce the men who are coming in the temple. And one of the ministers in Kerala recently made a statement that all the priests, they don't wear underwears. See, this provocation is it to insult or correct somebody? And also he made another statement that those women on the road with prayers, they eat excreta of the feudalism. I don't understand what is the connection of feudalism over here. And another minister making a statement that many pilgrims visit Sabrimala after consuming ganja and meat. We visit there after 41 days of strict brahmacharya vrat, sir. All these are against the faith. They murdered brutally one Mr. T.P. Chandrasekharan, and the murderers came in a car, in an Innova car with a sticker behind it which read MashaAllah. Why it was done? So that the people should believe that it is done by Muslims and there should be a Hindu-Muslim problem in the state. And this is a communism that we are facing today. And after the Supreme Court verdict, of course, there was a protest, serious protest, huge protest still happening all across the state, mainly by the women who are the beneficiaries of the verdict. But all were peaceful except what happened in Nilakal on 18th. And this was also engineered by the Kerala police. I'll tell you why. After that incident, they issued a lookout notice of so many people. And in one of the notices, the serial number 167, I believe, belonged to a policeman named Mr. Ibrahim. He was among the devotees. And he is a person who was under suspension for 1 year for saving Kadiyandavida Nasir, who is a prime accused in the Coimbatore blast case. And these guys have definitely infiltrated into it and they created the chaos over there, that is for sure. And also we have seen so many videos of the policemen destroying the vehicles parked over there so that they can put the blame on the devotees. And 6 activists, female activists, I would say, female activists tried to enter the Sabrimala temple. I make a correction here, they were brought in to enter. And 5 out of them were non-Hindus, non-believers. And the 6th one was also a communist sympathizer. All of them were non-believers. And even the police was instructed so strictly to take these ladies into the shrine somehow. And 2 of them were brought in by the police in the police dress, which is against the law. Government of Kerala has made more than 3,500 arrests of the peaceful protesters till today. And they have recruited 1,680 temporary employees for the duties in the Sabrimala in the next season, coming season. There was a newspaper report that the Devasam board was instructed by the government to recruit only the leftist people. This came in a newspaper, leading newspaper, Malayalam Malanama in Kerala. Let me take you to the biggest dot number 3. It's a suspected Chinese involvement. You may not believe it. Now let us understand why. Chinese are desperate to destroy India with any means. In India, communism was banned in 1948 for their ideology to divide India into 16 provinces. I request you, sir, to connect this with the Tukde gang and Keral Mange Asadi gang. Also, please note, in 1962 war, they took a pro-Chinese stand. In 1964, they split into 2, CPI pro-USSR and the CPM pro-China. CPM leaders' frequent meeting with Chinese should be investigated within the country and outside the country. Why the left withdrew support from UPA 1 in 2008, July? Because they were protesting US-India Peaceful Atomic Energy Cooperation Pact. During Sitaram Yechury's visit to China in May 2018, the Chinese president himself came out and reiterated the necessity to have a closer tie-up with CPM. Why the Chinese government is interested in a very small political party in India? 20th January 2018, The Hindustan Times reported Chinese did a detailed presentation for more than 150 comrades in Delhi, where Sitaram Yechuri, D. Raja and Chinese ambassador were on the dais. Sir, in September 2017, Government of India denied permission to Kadagampalli Surendran to visit China. You know the reason very well. In September 2007, Government of India refused a visa for 1,000 Chinese engineers to work on the Godavari gas pipeline project. What happened after that? I had seen D. Raja virtually ripping apart Government of India on a Times of India debate, sir. Kerala CPM General Secretary Mr. Kodiyeri Balakrishnan, he openly criticized Government of India for knitting and accused Government of India for knitting a conspiracy with the US, Australia and Japan for surrounding China and attacking them. They clearly oppose growing Indo-US relationship just because China dislikes it. There was a report in Pioneer on 28 January 2018 that Kerala Chief Minister Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan was in all praise for China in a meeting, and he accused India for changing its foreign policies. And he also went to the extent of showering his praises on Cuba and North Korea. Please note that this is a team that supported China during Indian aggression. They refused to accept our constitution till recent times. They don't hoist our national flag in their party offices. And also, after the Supreme Court verdict to stand up during a national anthem, they threatened to have sex in the movie theatres when the national anthem is being played. The whole flood damage recovery work is on a full stop in Kerala. They have more than 100 court verdict pending implementation. And these people are madly behind Sabrimala verdict with a vengeance on us, sir. And let me summarize with some more logics. China is destroying churches and mosques in their country, and they are banning all the religious practices. When the Communist Party came into power in Nepal, they made the chief priest, who is an Indian, who is from Karnataka, to run away from Nepal. Because chief priest is the most important person in the temple and the rituals. They made him run away. What is happening in Kerala, sir? These people are attacking the Sabrimala faith. They are doing regular invasion on the temples and our rituals. And the verbal abuse on tantric priest is beyond any limits, sir. It has crossed everything. And they make a conscious effort to create caste-based division in the society now. Sir, connect it along with the Macaulay's report on necessity to destroy the Indian culture. Connect it with the China's aggressive stand on India and its internal affairs. Please connect it with CPIM connection with Chinese and Pakistani Communist Party. And I have a final request. Sirs, I really smell a rat. Please connect all the 3 dots. You will see a dangerous Bermuda Triangle. A very dangerous Bermuda Triangle. You will see what are the atrocities happening in the state on the faith. I believe there is a conscious external effort and funding for this particular cause. And as a responsible citizen, my humble request to you is kindly set up a team on war footing with RAW, NIA, CBI and even Enforcement Directorate for a joint operation and ensure that all the doubts shared above does not exist. So thank you for your time. Jai Bharat.